What's going on, Dolphins fans? Is Brian Daboll going to be the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins? I'm going to break down the latest around this story here, but before I do, I got to show some love to today's awesome sponsor. Major shout out to Fetch Rewards. If anybody wants to take their receipts and turn them into gift cards, if you don't want to do that, you are a crazy person. This app is free to download. How do you do it? At the link down there below, chatsports.com/fetch. Promo code Dolphins. That's going to get you 3,000 bonus points. Think about the bonus points as every 1,000 equals $1. Rack up those points and then treat yourself. So what we're going to be talking about here is the latest news and rumors around Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll, and is he going to be the next head coach of Miami? For those of you that don't know a lot about me, basically my entire family is a bunch of Giants fans, and they messaged me like, dude, you see all these reports out here? We thought we were going to get Daboll. The New York Post, they're sending out articles saying, hey, Daboll's going to end up going to Miami. I have seen all of the reports, but my job here today is to kind of dissect everything and break down the truths and break down the rumors. Now, sure, I get the idea that a lot of Dolphins fans might want him. He worked with Tua Tagovailoa with Alabama back in 2017. Daboll has been linked to the Giants, and I think if Daboll doesn't go to the New York Giants, then sure, he would probably be the front runner here in Miami. In terms of, does Miami have interest in him? Absolutely. The Dolphins, they traveled to Buffalo right after the Bills and Patriots wild card game, and he's always been one of the very top candidates. When you look at that, you look at the latest odds that always come out, he's definitely somebody to keep in mind. If you're going to go out and hire Daboll, though, you're obviously hoping that you can see what he did with Josh Allen. You can then transform that into Tua Tagovailoa. And the fact that this guy also got NFL Assistant of the Year in 2020, Brian Daboll has been my number one candidate for all the videos I make at Chat Sports the past 2 years. Why? I really respect this guy. So you guys can let me know down in the comments, because this is what Chat Sports is about. I want you to interact with me. I want you to interact with each other and debate about it, because this is a very important topic. So if you're like, yeah, man, I would love Brian Daboll to be the next head coach of Miami, I want you to go ahead and type Y for yes. If you're like, well, I don't really know, man, then you can go ahead and type your N for no. Though, if you type your N for no, give me a better candidate on the list. Now, the reason why a lot of these rumors are circulating is because Pat Leonard from the New York Daily News, he had this to say, and basically this is what started the whirlwind of all these reports coming out that Brian Daboll is going to be the next head coach of Miami. Several league sources believe Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll is the favorite to be the Miami Dolphins' next head coach. If Daboll takes that job, Dan Quinn and Brian Flores are the leading contenders to be the Giants' next head coach. To me, New York Giants have done significant work on both. Here's the thing. And I always want to emphasize this, because when we start these shows, we talk about news, we talk about rumors, and it's the idea to give you guys the facts. Just because somebody has a blue check mark, like Pat Leonard does, which you can kind of see in this photo here, that doesn't mean they're 100% of a credible source, right? Like, he, I'm sure, has some sources, but just because you have a blue check mark, you shouldn't take that to the bank. I mean, here's what Pat Leonard had to say a few years ago about the Giants basically being all in on Matt Patricia as their next head coach. For those of you that have no idea who Matt Patricia is or live under a rock, he was hired by the Detroit Lions. Therefore, it did not happen. Now, we were given a little bit of an update today from Jordan Schultz, who is a much more credible source than Pat is. Following on the Pat Leonard tweet, report that the Dolphins are trying to land Brian Daboll. I was told last night that while Miami made a big push for Daboll, the organization still didn't know for sure where he was leaning. So I do think that Daboll could be leaning towards Miami. I also think he could be leaning towards the New York Giants. For those of you that do not know, we actually have a Giants channel here at Chat Sports, and here's a funny little thing that I know you guys probably don't really care about all that much. The guy producing this video is the guy that runs this channel, and subs this week, Giants now has 237 subs this week. Our Dolphins Today channel has 201. Let's change that a little bit. I'm a competitive SOB, and I want you guys to subscribe. I want you to turn on those notifications, because when the Dolphins do hire a head coach, when the Dolphins, maybe they do got to get Brian Daboll, we're going to be breaking it all down. And on top of that, I don't want to lose to the Giants. Why? My family's a fan of them, and Marshall, the guy producing this video, is a fan of them as well. So hit that sub button. Let's take down Giants now. Now, what we're going to be going through here is the Dolphins head coach tracker, which, as it stands right now, Vance Joseph, Brian Daboll, Mike McDaniel, Dan Quinn. I should also mention that it has been reported today by Dan Quinn that he is going to stay in Dallas. Another thing where, remember back old Patty a few minutes ago said, yeah, Dan Quinn could be going to the Giants. Again, don't trust everything that you read on the internet. Kellen Moore, Leslie Frazier, and Thomas Brown. So right now you basically have 6 candidates to be the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to give you guys some more of my 2 cents on Daboll, and I'm going to go ahead and break down some of the latest coaching odds. But before I do, I want you guys to get started with the Fetch Rewards app. It's free to download, in the video that you're going to see on the right of me, shout out to Vanna White, is basically how you get set up to take your email receipts and how to get your Amazon account linked up. It's super, super simple. So once you go to chatsports.com/fetch, once you use promo code Dolphins and you get those 3,000 bonus points, I want you then to sync up your email and sync up your Amazon account. Think about a world where you buy something, you get an email receipt, you get the bonus points right away. You buy something on Amazon, and as soon as you click purchase on Amazon, those bonus points then get transferred to your Fetch account, as you see right here. Treat yourself to what you want. You can go to Target, you can go to Amazon, you can go to Walmart. I don't care. You earn points on any receipt from any store, from any restaurant. Maybe you want to go to Burger King. I don't know why you'd want to go to Burger King. Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, chatsports.com/fetch. 3,000 bonus points when you get started. Scan that first receipt. I promise you, you're going to absolutely love this app. Why? If 2020 taught me anything, and I know I say this a lot, it taught me to be a little bit more responsible. This app is going to help you be more responsible, get more bang for your buck. All right, guys, let's talk about some of these Dolphins head coaching odds. Now, I see these odds, and they don't make me feel all that great. I see Vance Joseph, and I've heard some reports out there that the Dolphins do like the idea of going out and hiring Arizona Cardinals DC Vance Joseph. He's sitting there at plus 250. Brian Daboll's at 300. I actually really like Doug Peterson, Eric Bieniemy, Mike McDaniel. But here's the question, okay? Who is going to be the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins? And when you start to see the NFL, the way it works is dominoes like to fall. And what exactly do I mean by that? I mean, yesterday we had our very, very first head coach. He ended up, getting hired. And then today you have somebody like the Chicago Bears. They go out and hire one of their guys. And now you got the Jags. They're linked now to Byron Leftwich. And then you just have a continuous cycle of coaches getting hired. So I want to know down in the comments who is going to be the next head coach of Miami. What's funny about this is I really don't think anybody truly knows. Sure, you're going to have sources that like to puff out their chest or try to lay their you-know-what on the desk and say, oh, my sources are better than yours. But I really truly believe people do not know what is the future here for all these upcoming teams. What I do know is this. Whoever the new head coach is going to be, they have to be able to work with Tua Tagovailoa. One of the biggest reasons why Brian Flores was let go, Stephen Ross wanted somebody that believed in Tua. Brian Flores did not believe in Tua and did not want to work with Tua and wanted to trade for Deshaun Watson. For that reason, he got let go. Now, this is what Stephen Ross had to say on Tua recently. First of all, let me be clear. It played no role in it at all. I have a lot of confidence in Tua, and I think the next head coach will work with him or whoever else, but I have a lot of confidence in him. I watched him grow. He's a fine young man, and he is our quarterback. When you hear the owner of the team say he is our quarterback, you better be able to go out and find somebody that can work with him. So here we talk about Brian Daboll, who's worked underneath guys like Bill Belichick, has worked underneath somebody like Nick Saban. I've said it for a long time that I personally believe he would be a great person for Tua's development into the National Football League. You really saw Josh Allen take a step in his NFL career in year 3. Tua's getting ready to enter year 3. And when I broke down my Brian Flores replacements video, I had Daboll in my top 3 at number 3. So here's my question. If the Dolphins, let's say you wake up tomorrow, we already got a video up on the channel, subscribe, turn on those notifications, I don't want you to miss it. Let's just say the Dolphins, they go out and they hire Brian Daboll. I want you to go ahead and grade the pick, or not grade the pick, grade the hiring. A, B, C, D, or F. A, you loved it. B, it was good. C, average. D, bad. F, it was an absolute fail. My grade would be absolutely an A. It's not an A+. There's only one person who I think would be an A-plus hire for Tua, and that's Kellen Moore, but that's more based on the idea of you're trying to get the most out of Tua. Everything that Brian Daboll has done in Buffalo, everything that he's done just about everywhere, sure, I get it. He's been with Miami before, had some issues, but this would be an A grade. And the reason why it's an A grade is because you got to see what he was able to do with Josh Allen. Josh Allen, phenomenal player now, but go back and look. When you look at the history of college football players, and they have a completion percentage under 57%, it is like really, really bad. In 14 games in 2016 at Wyoming, Allen, 28 touchdowns, 15 picks, 3,203 yards. Well, what about 2017, the year before he was drafted? 56.3. This is in 11 games, y'all. 1,812 yards, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. If anybody out there thought that Josh Allen was a ready to rock and roll type of quarterback, I'm sorry, you were grossly wrong. And then when he was a rookie in 2018, 10 touchdowns, 12 picks, 52.8% completion percentage. Then the Buffalo Bills go out and they hire Brian Daboll, right? So 2019, 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Now, sure, he can get it done on the ground, and Tua's never going to be a running quarterback, but the jump that you see right here, 37 touchdowns, 10 picks, 4,544 yards, 69.2% completion percentage, that's what you're hoping Brian Daboll's going to be able to bring to Miami. So you're hoping that Daboll's success, Daboll's tutelage, and honestly, Tua knowing him is going to be able to help his growth as a quarterback, because I don't see Tua ever being a top 5 QB, but you're at least hoping that Tua right now, who is probably somewhere in the fringe of around 20th when you rank all the NFL quarterbacks, you're hoping that he can get somewhere around the top 10. And if he can become a top 10 QB with that defense, with some of those skill possession players, then this team is, I honestly truly believe, sky's the limit. So here's some of the coaching history that Brian has had. Bills OC from 2018 to present. Alabama back in 2017. This is the year he overlapped with Tua. Patriots tight end coach, the Chiefs OC. What you're going to see is a lot of different mixes here. I get it. This was a bad stint back in 2011, but I mean, was he really working with all that much? No, the answer is no to that. Browns, Jets, Patriots, and he realistically started as a William and Mary volunteer assistant in 1997. So not only are you going to get a coach who's got some NFL experience, sure, he's got a little bit of college, but he's been doing this for a very long time. I would love the move if Miami goes out and hires him, and at this current juncture, that news is not here yet, but I do personally believe it's between the Miami Dolphins, it's between the New York Giants, and whenever the Dolphins decide to hire a head coach, we're going to be coming at you here, so hit that sub button and turn on those noties.